Okay, let's talk about Crocs. You've seen them everywhere, right? Maybe you're even wearing a pair right now. But behind this super recognizable, and let's be honest, kind of debated foam clog, there's a huge corporation. Today, we're going to dig into how Crocs Inc. took this one simple shoe and turned it into an absolute global phenomenon.
Yeah, you definitely know this shoe. I mean, love it or hate it, you can't deny the Crocs clog is an icon. It's become this symbol of casual comfort that's, well, it's pretty much taken over millions of feet all over the world.
But that shoe? That's really just the tip of the iceberg. We're about to pull back the curtain on the company behind it, Crocs Inc. And this is a multi-brand, multi-billion-dollar corporation. We're talking global markets, huge acquisitions, and a mission that's about way more than just shoes.
So what's their secret sauce? How did they pull this off? Well, it's about more than just making a comfy shoe. It really comes down to a unique set of values that they've built their entire brand around.
Okay, so these values are basically the brand's DNA. Things like delightfully democratic, that's all about being inclusive, and confidently comfortable. That's not just about how your feet feel, it's about being comfortable with who you are. And you might think this is just some marketing talk, but it's really not. This stuff is at the very core of the company.
All right, so how does a philosophy like that actually turn into a massive business? Let's take a look at the global operation that is Crocs Inc. today. And honestly, the scale is, well, it's pretty staggering.
First thing you need to know, Crocs Inc. isn't just a one-trick pony. It's what you'd call a portfolio company. So yeah, they own the classic Crocs brand we all know, but they also own Hey Dude, which is another huge name in casual shoes. And this is a really fundamental part of their whole business strategy.
And who powers all of this? People. Over 5,900 of them, all around the globe. We're talking about everyone from the designers at HQ to the folks working in their retail stores and their absolutely massive distribution centers. It's a huge human operation.
And their reach? It's genuinely global. These shoes are sold in more than 85 countries. They do it through this whole complex web of their own stores, their websites, and a ton of retail partners. So yeah, this is not some small-time operation. We're talking about a commercial powerhouse.
So when you've got a global operation on this scale, you know the numbers are going to be pretty impressive. So let's do that. Let's dive into the company's financial performance for the 2025 fiscal year.
And you know what? The company's CEO, Andrew Rees, he kind of frames the story for us himself. The big headline here is that they blew past $4 billion in revenue, and he points right at international growth as a huge reason why, especially for the main Crocs brand.
And there it is, the big number. Over $4,000 million, that's $4 billion, in total revenue for the year. I mean, that figure alone just screams how much demand there is for their stuff all over the world.
But that $4 billion number, it doesn't quite tell the whole story. Because when you look a little closer, you see a really split performance. The classic Crocs brand, it grew a little bit, about 1.5%. But the Hey Dude brand, it saw a pretty significant drop, over 13%.
And this really shows you where the company is at right now. It's kind of a tale of two brands. You've got the core Crocs brand being powered by really strong international growth, and that's helping to balance out the pretty big challenges and the revenue drop from the Hey Dude brand. It's this really fascinating dynamic, right? Growth and struggle happening all under one roof.
Okay, so the financial side is obviously super important, but Crocs Inc. also defines itself by a mission that goes way beyond the bottom line. Let's take a look at their corporate responsibility side of things, their vision for creating a more comfortable world. So, their official purpose is exactly that, to create a more comfortable world for all. And they break this mission down into three main pillars that guide everything they do, focusing on the planet, their communities, and, well, all people.
And here's a really concrete example of that comfort for the planet pillar in action. In 2024, about a quarter of their signature Croslite material, the stuff the shoes are made of, was biocircular. That just means it comes from renewable sources. That's a real, tangible step they're taking to use less fossil fuels.
And those three pillars are held up by four really clear ambitions. They're focused on building inclusive workplaces, designing products that can be reused or recycled, that's circularity, fighting climate change, and investing back into their communities. It's a whole framework for their environmental and social goals.
And all of these different initiatives, they're all building towards one massive, super ambitious long-term goal, to hit net zero carbon emissions by the year 2040.
Okay, so we've seen where the company has been, but what about where it's headed?
Let's take a look at the official forecast for 2026 and see what's next on the horizon for Crocs Inc.
Well, the outlook pretty much continues the same story we saw in 2025. The main Crocs brand is expected to stay pretty stable, somewhere between flat and maybe up 2%. But the company's also forecasting another pretty big drop for the Hey Dude brand, somewhere between 7 and 9%. So yeah, that challenge is definitely continuing.
Which brings us to a final thought here. Crocs built a whole empire on the idea of comfort, right? So the big question now is, can the corporation get comfortable with the discomfort of one of its major brands struggling, all while trying to keep its iconic clog growing? It's a really interesting challenge for a company that's, let's face it, truly one of a kind.